I'm Dr. Tom Griffiths at Penn State University, and after years of research, we've developed a simple yet effective technique for vigilance. Lifeguards using the 5-minute scanning strategy can increase attention and concentration while reducing boredom. Ultimately, the 5-minute scanning strategy will save lives. Let's take a closer look. Research clearly shows that any one specific visual scanning task should not last longer than 5 minutes before a significant change in posture, position, and scanning pattern takes place. Moving, walking, talking, listening to low volumes of background music, and mild exercise, among other things, improve attention and concentration while reducing boredom. Patrons, guests, and even supervisors also admire this technique because they can see a significant change in the lifeguard's posture, position, and scanning pattern every 5 minutes, which certainly reassures them that the lifeguard is indeed vigilant. The 5-minute scanning strategy incorporates many different principles in one simple observational system. Some of the basic principles utilized to develop the scanning strategy are as follows. Visual tasks should be limited to 5 minutes in duration before performance decrements begin. To reduce eye fatigue, the head must move continually as well as the eyes. In most instances, the sooner the lifeguard rotates to a new guard station, the better in terms of alertness. Movement helps prevent boredom and increases respiration. That in turn helps to prevent fatigue. Most lifeguard rotations to other stations are established in some 5-minute increment, like every 15, 20, 30, or 45-minute shifts. A lifeguard who moves, walks, talks, and changes posture every 5 minutes not only maintains a higher level of vigilance, but the perception of others, like guests and supervisors, is that they actually are more vigilant. And for safety's sake, it makes sense to make an accounting statement of people in one zone every 5 minutes. Before we discuss the actual steps in the 5-minute scanning strategy, it's important to understand the subtle yet significant difference between a scan and a sweep. Scanning refers to a visual system of several techniques for surveying and monitoring guests through repeated sweeps. A sweep is just one visual check of those people in your zone. Scanning lasts for 5 minutes and then restarts after an accounting statement is made of the guests and the posture, position, and eye pattern of the lifeguard has changed. A scan is one specific visual pattern used to repeatedly sweep the zone visually for 5 minutes. A sweep lasts only seconds, and it's used to visually touch everyone in the zone of coverage. Connecting the dots, guessing the height, weight, and age of guests, the color of swimming suits, and so forth are all acceptable strategies of keeping track of guests while sweeping through the zone. Momentarily focusing on one guest, or centering as it's called on one guest, each sweep improves concentration. During the 5-minute scan, repeated sweeps allow for focusing on every individual in the zone at least once. The elapsed time for the complete visual sweep will vary with conditions and facilities. Each facility should determine its own optimum sweep time in some interval of seconds. The key to the 5-minute scan is to change 4 basic elements every 5 minutes. Those 4 are the posture, position, pattern, and count the patrons. First, pick a posture, either sit, stand, or stroll when poolside. While some lifeguards prefer to sit for the first 5 minutes, others prefer standing first so they can look forward to sitting next. Walking is also encouraged. Think of the 3 S's: sit, stand, or stroll. Then position yourself so you can see everyone in your zone. Not only does switching the position keep the lifeguard alert, but it also provides a new line of sight or perspective while scanning. The advantage of wider lifeguard stations is that if you stand on the left side of the chair for the first 5 minutes, the next time you stand, you can switch to the right side of the chair for 5 minutes. Once a position is established, Pick a specific visual pattern and use that same pattern repeatedly for 5 minutes only. The pattern might be a circular pattern, perhaps a square or rectangular pattern, horizontal or vertical. You may also just want to simply connect the dots with people or use a grid system of scanning. Whatever the scanning pattern, the head must move. This reduces eye fatigue while increasing visual acuity. It also assures patrons and supervisors that a lifeguard is indeed attentive. Each and every pattern that we give you in this tape should be used scanning or sweeping the bottom of the pool and then sweeping the surface of the pool. Prioritize the bottom for safety, and when in doubt, fish it out. Finally, whenever possible, you must count the patrons after each and every 5-minute scan. If you cannot count all the patrons, quickly estimate the number. Another good idea is to mentally rehearse an actual water rescue of the most difficult person present in your zone. The key to the 5-minute scan is to change these 4 basic principles every 5 minutes to become more accountable for the people in your zone. Again, the 4 P's of the 5-minute scan require you to change significantly your posture, position, pattern every 5 minutes, followed by counting the patrons in your zone before switching to a new posture, position, and pattern every 5 minutes. Now let's take a look at lifeguard stations where lifeguards actually perform their observation and scanning. One of the purposes of the 5-minute scan is to encourage lifeguards to sit no more than half of their time while on duty. Standing and walking, when possible, have proven to be more effective for surveillance and vigilance than sitting. Tall lifeguard chairs, about 6 feet high, do have some advantages. On a sunny day, they can help to reduce the glare of the sun coming off the water. Additionally, sitting up high eliminates visual obstruction of people and excessive socialization. But with the use of tall lifeguard chairs come some serious disadvantages. It is not easy, and at times it can even be dangerous to quickly climb into or jump out of tall lifeguard chairs. Secondly, lifeguards are not as likely to leave the tall chair to check on a guest or go on foot patrol when necessary. Taller lifeguard chairs oftentimes create a social, psychological barrier between the lifeguard and the guest. The use of lower, wider stations with standing positions on either side of the lifeguard chair much better facilitate the use of the 5-minute scanning strategy, and I firmly believe are safer overall. Lower, spacious lifeguard stations encourage alertness by promoting movement through posture and position changes. In addition, it is easier and safer to simply walk up or down the step into the lifeguard station. It allows for lifeguards to go on patrol more easily and allows for talking with guests, provided, of course, the eyes are not diverted from the water. Ultimately, if this technique is used, many lives could be saved through the prevention of accidents. And remember, it only takes seconds for a child to drown. I hope you enjoyed the short video illustrating the 5-minute scanning strategy. Better yet, I hope you would use the technique and experiment with the 5-minute scanning strategy to increase attention and concentration while reducing boredom and fatigue. Finally, I would like to thank Paragon Aquatics, the largest manufacturer of lifeguard chairs in the country, for the funding for this video, and more importantly, for teaming up with me to create the perfect partner for the 5-minute scanning strategy, Griff's Guard Station by Paragon. Thank you for watching this video. Please use the technique to improve safety at your aquatic facilities.